Hi, welcome to my channel, Lady D. So today I'm going to do a horoscope on Smith. So we're going to look at his astrology chart, and I'll also do some cards to see what's coming up for him. I feel like we'll look at relationships as well as his career. See what's going on in light of what happened at the Oscars. Okay, so I'm going to, as I always do these videos, I'm going to share my screen with the chart so that I can explain what I'm seeing and what we're looking at in his chart. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen now. Okay. So we've got here Will Smith's chart here. So I have used his birthday, which is the 25th of September, 1968. He's born in Philadelphia in America, and it was at 9:47 p.m. is what I found on the internet. So he has a sun in Libra, his moon is in Scorpio, and his ascending is in Gemini. So straight away I can see why people are drawn to him. He has that very likable energy about him, which is the ascending Gemini. I find that Geminis are they're fun people. They're young and they're youthful people. They're good with working with young people. They have a thirst for knowledge. So that's, what he puts out is that he's the social butterfly, which is exactly what Gemini is. Also with an ascending Gemini, so we're looking at this line here. It's also about what a Gemini, so with him, what he puts out, wants to communicate with the world and has a twinkle in his eye, and he likes to learn. And he does. When Will Smith smiles, he does have a bit of a twinkle in his eye. So I did notice that. Then his sun sign Libra. So he's a person that's not gonna walk, doesn't want to rock the boat. He's a nice, Librans are very nice people. They like to fight for justice. They like to do things for others. They're very like non-confronting people. But also with this, he's also goes sociable, dependent, artistic, pleasant, and as I said, like with justice. So the sun in Libra always retreats from setbacks, dislikes criticism, and carries through tasks. And he is like a nice person. So with that their Libra sun that's there, and it's also in his 5th house. So it's a big focus on him with relationships. So in his chart, like where his planets are, it's all sort of down here on the bottom, and then you've got a few on there, like sort of like mirror imaging of each other. So the spotlight for him is more, we've got family, health, and relationships. And yeah, that's his main focus when I look at this chart with his natal chart. So his moon is in Scorpio. So there is an element of mysterious about him, secrets. Scorpios like to keep their cards close to their chest. They have to trust people to bring them into their circle. So and also with that Scorpio there, it can be very emotionally intense as well. He can be a bit compulsive, as I said, like secretive there, resentful and jealous, can be a bit of a Scorpio moon. So the moon in Scorpio also has the capacity for self-transformation, but fears rejection or abandonment. And as I said, he'd have to trust people to bring them in. So we're looking at someone on the outside is a very fun, social person. And then when we get a bit deeper, we learn that he likes things that are fair, likes to do things for others, likes to please people. Librans like to please people. And then with that Scorpio element there, we're looking at someone who is a bit secretive, who do keep their close to their chest, and who has a bit of a dark side there to him with that there. Now, what I do with these videos, I always just do, mainly where the planets are, to not make the video too long. So when we're looking at him, he's got planets, Mars in this 4th house here. So I would bet you his house it's not a house, the family that he has, the house that he lives in is not going to be a peaceful house. It's going to be a house where for him, it could be arguments, it could be frustrations, although he puts out that he's this strong family, this strong image. And I find that with this chart, he's a person that he would care what people think. So he puts out this certain image about how the family is, but perhaps I feel like how they are portrayed, there are cracks and there are things inside the house that, we don't always see, that gets hidden. And I got to say this video is for entertainment purposes only as well, for disclaimer there. So with this Mars in this 4th house too, this also can be, he might find that he's quietly assertive, because we've got the Mars, which is in Virgo. We got here restraint. He's got curious. He's going to be a very hard-working person with this placement, hard-working in their house, hard-working to make things work within the family, very practical. He'd pay attention to what's going on to people. And I do feel like there's an aspect of him being very caring in terms of the family. He pays attention to the smallest details too. When you look into his house will be very detailed if I was to go in there. And with him, and also he'd be attracted to a practical partner too. But I dare say there'd be a lot of, he'd be quite stern as well as a parent with this placement too, the way how he would like things to happen. But I feel like what we see it's just a different side that we don't see. I feel like he likes to put out this image like everything's okay, everything's fun. And but I just feel like there's things that are a bit different there. Now, in the 5th house, he has a range of planets here. He has Jupiter, he has Pluto, he has Uranus, and he has the Sun. As I said, relationships for him is a very big spotlight. That's where he likes to focus on. That's where his world is. It's all about relationships. And then he's got the Jupiter, with people with Jupiter in his 5th house, they can fall in love quite easily. And this helps energy that's there can also bring in people, as I said. So a person that if he was single wouldn't be single for long. He also can be quite ambitious, and it can help to make relationships last. Okay. Now, he's got Uranus here, which can also create very unexpected things in relationships. So he may be attracted to people he would never thought that he would be attracted to. Just unexpected things can happen to him in relationships. And then we've got Pluto, which is also here in his 5th house. And Pluto is it's transformation, it's death and transformation. That just because I say death doesn't mean that people are going to pass. It could mean the death of relationships. So I do feel like with him, he's got that Jupiter and that Sun there that's going to bring in the people, help them stay. But then he has this Uranus is erratic energy there, where we just don't know what's going to happen with Uranus. It can be very erratic, it's unexpected, it's unusual. Then he's got this Pluto energy, which comes in and can make relationships sort of burn up. And when with this placement, when relationships burn up with him, it would burn up in a fire. So like relationships doesn't just end and that's it with him. It would be intense when relationships do end with him, with this placement here in this 5th house. Also with Pluto, if he doesn't use his energy correctly, he could be drawn into having a partner which could be very intense, controlling, or passionate. And I found that interesting, because I do feel like that's what he has found with his current partner, Jada, that because he hasn't used his energy correctly, that he has in turn got someone into his life that, well, I feel that is quite, when we're looking on the outside, just when I get her energies, that she's very controlling. And even she's a Virgo, so Virgos, are a bit controlling. They're nitpickers. They like things to be perfectionists. So as I'm saying, so she would definitely be putting out, the image of how she wants her family to look, and he would be going along with that. He's a Libran. He's a nice person. And with that Scorpio there, he would be, helping with that. So I just feel like I feel like her energy, I haven't actually seen her chart. Maybe if you want me to, I can compare both their charts and just see what's going on with both of them. but I feel like she's the stronger energy out of the two. Now, we've also got with him in that sixth house, which is here. He's got a number of planets. Health. The sixth house is health. Okay. I might also just add to that fifth house also children, so it's relationships and children. So unexpected things with the children as well with this, and also the other energies there too. Like I feel like he'd be a good dad, because the sun's there. I just feel like he would be a good dad, but there's this Pluto, Uranus, unexpected. There's things there like just me on the outside would notice. I noticed when he first came out on the scene when I knew him back in the day. We were quite aware of his son, and then as he went by, it was more the other children to take a step forward. We didn't see much of the other son, and I feel like that would have been his Pluto as well, and the Uranus, unexpected changes and things there with the children too. So here in the sixth house, it is all about sixth house is health. We also can be at the career, but I mainly read this house as health. So I read more the career as the second and 10th, which he doesn't have anything in his natal chart, only transits, which I'll get to in a moment. So when I'm looking at the sixth house, he has Neptune. He also has the moon. He has Mercury, and he has Venus here. So, Mercury being in here and being placed in Libra, which is where his Mercury is. He's got actually Mercury and Venus very close together. So the way he thinks, he'd be very fair in the way that he thinks. And he would be very logical. He'd be very strategic. He also he might be a little bit of a judgmental as well. But having Mercury here, he would see both sides of the argument. And depending on the opinion of others, he would also think about his health. So his health would be important to him. He'd be thinking about that, concentrating about that. It's all about his health, there being in his house, but definitely being in that Libra energy. The way that he thinks, it would also be very fair. And I feel like he'd always put others before himself. Now, Venus in Libra. So Venus in Libra, and in that sixth house, this is a person who could fall easily into love and is attracted to people who are very charming, very charmers too. And he could also, a Venus in this house, he could very well be a person that does self-indulge and a little bit too much, but he's also a person that's going to look after his health. He's going to concentrate on his health and his well-being, and that's going to be at the forefront with him. Now, the moon being in this house here, sixth house, I find people with the moon here, they are people who just get very emotional and worry about their health. Whenever I have clients who have this placement, they will worry about the slightest thing, and their mind will just go instantly like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And so he would worry in the slightest like hiccup, the slightest sneeze, or anything that he notices, he's probably going to sort of maybe be a bit irrational about it, because the moon just makes him a bit emotional. So he may just think straight away, oh my God, I'm going to die. It's usually a thing that I see, or just a lot of worriness. They always think, oh my God, the worst thing. Then the Neptune being in here, this can be addiction. So Neptune in this house can very well also mean that he might be a person that is addictive to stuff. So that's something that he would have to be careful of. But Neptune in here too, overall his health I see the health has been pretty good overall during his lifetime. But anything that does go wrong, so any sort of transits or something, any health issues do come up, having a Neptune there can actually create a fog, so that he may not know exactly what is wrong with him. And he may have to go and get different opinions, or maybe see alternate doctors to try and find out what's going on with that placement there. Then over here in the 11th house is friends. So I guess it's another relationship house. He has his true note, life lesson, and Chiron being there. So his true note, his life purpose. So he's sitting in Aries in his 11th house, which can mean that his life lesson is to do with his friends and friendships, social circles. It also is the path of self-development. So the soul is learning to be a separate and self-sufficient. So individual centered around the self with the courage to innovate, change, and evolve independently. So in the 11th house there, the true node is the urge to change things, to make a fairer and equal community, and to work through interactions with others. So that's what he's here for this lifetime. That's his life lesson, and that's what he's here to do. It also could be, I feel like, to find the right people around him, to find those right connections that is going to help him grow and evolve as well. Now, his Chiron's our emotional pain. Wherever that is in your chart, that's where you find your emotional pain is. We all have it somewhere. So he's in his house. So friendships for him is not going to be something that is going to last. He could have a lot of issues there with people. I said, like, this is like his emotional pain. So as I said, he's got that 5th relationship house, that 5th house, got planets there that brings him in, people in, helps him to stay. But friendships, they can be quite a painful spot for him. So I dare say he's had conflicts in the past, not just the other month with what we saw at the Oscars. Now, he's got Saturn, which is on the cusp of the 12th and the 11th. So I read this for both houses because the energy can go into both. Now, with Saturn being here, definitely in the 12th house, it can definitely mean that he's a person that does keep secrets, hides his problems. He also would have a lot of karmic load that he brings from a previous life as well with this. And being in when that energy goes, if it goes over into the 11th house, it's always going to create problems with friends too. So problems with maybe setting boundaries or issues coming up with friendships. So friendships, he may not be a person who has a lot of friends, or he may be a person that keeps them and then things happen and he changes, gets new friends come in. So yeah, his friends is not a strong point. Just more, I guess, relationships, romantic relationships is more of his strong point, and his health. Now, what are the transits going on with him now? So when the event happened at the Oscars, he actually had in his 10th house, Venus conjunct Saturn in the 10th. So there was bound to be problems there with love with him. And I dare say there were problems. That was probably the boiling point. There's probably things going on before that around. And that probably just made it boiling point. And, we all saw what happened. Now, he won the Oscar. So he had Jupiter, which was actually in his 10th house last year and a bit of this year. That would have put him in the right spot for that movie and gave him the award. So Jupiter, he was obviously, when he was working last year and a bit of this year, he enjoyed what was going on. But we have Saturn here as well. And Saturn would have come in last year into this house. And Saturn brings about problems. So, and as this planet goes through these houses, this house here, and it's not going to come out until well and truly, could even be 2024 by the time it gets out fully. You're going to find that as it goes through, we're going to see a lot of more problems with him in his career. So this is just the beginning of problems that are going to happen over the next couple of years with him in his career. He had the luck, he had Jupiter come over, which we saw got him the Oscar. He already had the Saturn there, which then caused a problem, the event there, and also caused him to resign. So problems are going to go more and escalate. He even may be, as we see at the moment, where people get cancelled. He may get cancelled with this cancel culture that comes in. So, he's got Mars there at the moment to help him out. The Venus is there to help him out. Even though we had the conjunction of Mars and Saturn up, last week he would have been a lot of frustration, remorse. He's not going for a good time with his career, and it's not going to get better just yet. He's had his good times, and now he's going to go through a bit of a struggle. Then we've got here in his 11th house, friends. So Jupiter has moved into this house. So he's saw people coming to his aid. So we see that event happen. People came to his defense. And that's again Jupiter's luck with friends. So, it's holding his friendships together. He's going to, it's going to be a little bit of okay. I'm going to say a little bit because of the other energies that are there. Then we've got next year, we'll come out of that and go into the 12th. Now, I say a little bit okay because he's got Neptune, he's got Chiron here. Last year, Chiron hit this true node. So was something that had happened last year. It would have been a painful event that happened last year with him. And it would have been something that's very like a life lesson, very like a destiny point. That would be a very painful lesson that he had to learn. And I could be around last year when this happened. I kind of feel like it was to do with his relationship. That's what I feel like it may have something to do with. I'm not 100% sure. We don't see everything that happens in these celebrities' lives. But he's got this Chiron here in this 11th house and the Neptune. These are going to bring about more problems, issues with friends, and there's going to be friends that are leaving him, especially when this Jupiter leaves, going into like next year. We're going to see more people not liking him as much. There's going to be this conflict that happens with him to do with friends. In the career, it's not going to be good for the next while for him. And then we've got the Uranus here in the 12th, which can bring about unexpected health issues. Okay. In the 12th here can also be about secrets. Can be unexpected secrets may also come out while this is in this house here. It's going to be there for quite a while. So he's got things coming up. We've also got Pluto, which is actually in his 9th. A few years ago, it would have been in his 8th, so he would have had some money issues going on then. But I can see now he's got there could be a change in him. He could might go back and study. It could be a change in if he studies something different. He may even also be a change in terms of traveling. There could be, he might try to look at being more spiritual with his transit as well. So yeah, he's just got a little things that are going on that are going to be coming up for him. And I feel like next month is going to be quite a doozy month. He's got a lot of life lessons to go through. He's got a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. And yeah, let's just do some cards and see what else we can get. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, I'm going to do I'm going to look at relationships here between him and Jada. So she's a Virgo, and I'm going to look at let's look at his career first. I'm going to use my angel cards. Let's have a look here for him. There's going to be stuff coming up with money and finances with him. I feel like maybe he's not budgeting his money to where he should be. I feel like there's money being like he's lost some money of late, or at some point too. I feel like he's kind of feeling. It's like he's gone from feeling on top of the world to feeling down, and he feels that something is brewing. I feel like he can be quite intuitive, especially that Pluto transit can actually make him more intuitive too. I feel like we're kind of about to see the willsmith as well. Something that's coming out. His career. He's got a long road ahead. Got a long road ahead, and I feel like there's more stuff that's going to come out. More stuff's going to happen with him. Okay. So there we go. Let's have a look to see what's coming out. He may want to escape Hollywood. You know, he may just, I feel like something different is coming up. He's going to be feeling, okay. There's going to, okay, what have we got? I just feel like there's going to be some sort of complications that are going to come in. There is a bit of a step up. So I do feel like there could be a step up, maybe a more of a challenging role that's coming up. Maybe he wants to change. No, and I feel like he's going to do some directing work as well. So I do feel like there is going to be a step up for him. And I feel like that could be like even next July. But I also feel like with this, it's like he's going to get excited about it, but I feel like there's disappointment there with him, because I feel like he's going to feel like he's dragging all this load that's coming up with him. He's going to really need the support of people around him. He's going to really feel like he's lost, and he feels like he's going to feel like he's on this road by himself. I kind of feel like, we'll go with relationship, I kind of feel like that Jada perhaps maybe walking away or saying goodbye. I kind of feel like she's had enough, but I feel like her eye is somewhere else. But we'll look at cards with that. But it's like things are going to be coming down. So I think he goes through something new coming up for him, but it's not going to be all that he thinks it's going to be. And I just feel like people are going to want to avoid him. What's coming up, because I feel like his frustration is going to come out more, and he's going to be like, why isn't things going my way? I feel like he's going to have movies that are going to plummet, and he's going to have movies that are not going to be as successful as he had hoped them to be too. I do feel like there might even be a new Men in Black movie that he's working on that he could make an appearance on. Something about Men in Black seems for me to coming up as well. But I just don't feel like he's not going to make the money that he thinks that he's going to make. And there's going to be disappointment there. I do feel like that's coming up for him. All right, let's look at relationships with him too. Okay, let's look at relationships. I'm going to use this deck. All right. It's like he's biding his time. He's waiting. He's being impatient. He's being very stubborn. He doesn't want to rock the boat. What I feel like with him. So it looks. I feel like the relationship and the career is connected with him. That's what I feel like. Like, most of us have it separated, but with him, it's connected. It's joined. And I feel like she's gonna. I can see her waving goodbye. So they could break up, especially with the Pluto in his fifth. He's really destined to, as I said, he's got planets that help them stay together. He's also got planets to help to, bring apart. And when it explodes, it's going to be a lot of stuff that's revealed. And it's like, oh my goodness. Okay, let's have a look here. In terms of relationships. He cares a lot for his children, but I kind of feel like his children are a bit stuck up, like they're a bit spoiled. I'm talking about the two younger ones, not the older one. I feel like the older one has a bit of a heart of gold, and I feel like he's a natural intuitive. He's a very caring and compassionate person, and I feel like he's going to be there to support his dad. The other two, I feel like there's going to be a little bit like manipulation at play, brainwashing, and I feel like they're going to go more to their mother. He's going to have just like he's coming into not great times. Let's have a look here. So we know the planet, especially, let's see. Okay, with relationships. Well, the first card that actually came out is this card here. So, yes, someone's leaving is what I feel. I feel like I can see her waving goodbye. So that's kind of confirmation of that. Moving on to something different. I kind of feel like relationship kind of is at play here. And even now, I feel like he's trying to make things better. He's a Libran, so he's trying to make it all nice. He's trying to cover up patches, and that's what he's been doing the last few years, covering up patches that haven't, that they've shown out where other people may have walked away. He's tried to bring it into a good thing, and he's there to support his wife. And I feel like that's him trying to tame her. But they're in it together. But I just feel like she's walking away, and with her, I feel like she can be quite. I feel like she can be quite vicious. I mean, I haven't looked at her chart, but it's just what I'm picking up from her. And I just feel like there's going to be divorce. I feel like there's going to be divorce with him as well. And I feel like there's a scale of justice, but there's a shark. Like, he needs to be careful. There's going to be, I feel like with the media, like there's sides that are going to be choose. And unfortunately, just with his planets the way they are at the moment, with the French, where it is in the 11th house and the 10th, he may not look as favorable. So she may come out looking on top, but I just feel like she's manipulating. I feel like money's going to be lost with him as well. When will this happen? When will this happen? I feel like there's cracks forming. I do feel like it could be this year, could be next year. We're just going to see him, having a bit of issues coming up there for him. He's going to have to prepare and be careful and be prepared for, it's almost like we're preparing for war a little bit with this card here, with relationships. But as I see, I feel like the older son will be by his side. The other two will be with their mum. We're going to see like tit for tat. When this is all done, he'll be very, he'll show a lot of remorse and humility, can't say the word, but he's definitely someone who has integrity, who is passionate for what he does. And at the moment, I feel like he just feels very overwhelmed. He feels trapped. He feels like, and he's trying to, again, patch things up to make things look very positive in terms of relationships, because these relationships affects his career. These two things go hand in hand. That's where the spotlight is on his chart. And he's a person who's definitely trying to shine. But there's, so some things that are coming up there for him. Things, everything has their time. Everything has a cycle about it. So even if this does happen, there will come a time when he does shine again. I mean, he's an ascending Gemini, which is the same as Donald Trump. He's an ascending, he's a Gemini, an ascending Leo. So you'll see, like with people that had Gemini's qualities, they are natural, they have that charisma about them. And also being with the Libra. So he will come back from this. It may not be short term though. He may not see a lot of him, and he come back years after. But that's what I pick up for him at the moment. So we'll leave it there. So thank you for liking, sharing in your comments. If you want me to do a horoscope on another celebrity, please put their name in the comments, and I will see if I can find their chart and do them as well. So I thank you all, and I'll see you for my next video. So bye for now.